I think that Scott said it great earlier today, where it's not a social media community the same way that you don't have a telephone community or a fax machine or email community. I think you can have a marketing community, you can have a PR community, but I think that the focus needs to be more on the people and their disciplines than the tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ken Burberry?
Not the means to the end, but the goal, the objectives. You know, so it should be business focused. It should be, you know, them all collaborating on what works, what doesn't. You know, some of that conversation is going to be tools, but it shouldn't be centered around the tools, because the tools are always going to change. We've all been talking about that all day.
There's really only like two kinds of phones that are polarizing enough to be like, we should all meet about the kind of phones that we have. And, like, we should meet about these phones and Verners.
Proactivity. I mean, you know, when you network, you want to network with people that you know are going to do something, are going to act on the connections that are made. And I think that the more connections that are made between people who've never met before, the more businesses develop, the more opportunities arise, the more attractive it becomes to other people around the country.
I would definitely agree with that, and also finding people that are willing to add to that community as well. Keep, helping out, adding to some of the content, making sure that we're helping each other, even if we're competitors at times. I still think that there's an opportunity where we can all pull together and really build something bigger and make the area grow.
I think, one, people are looking for optimism, people are looking for good news, and more than anything, people are looking for examples of how to do it. So we need leadership. Leadership that gets out there and takes charge of something, and that shows people a direction to go. It has a plan, that has executables against that plan and can move people through it. And it's not going to be easy, and we need to think of it in terms of a stepwise progression. I think we see it happening around communities all over the country that are doing it really well, and we aspire to that, but we need to start at our own, kind of first step level and see if we can get there.
Honestly, I really think we need to do away with the soft sell at a lot of our events. I think that when we bring in the big guys here, you will see that you don't get that. None of us are going to be saying here, I'm going to teach you how to use this particular platform, and oh, by the way, here's my site and here's what I do, and please go visit it, or even use my site to show you how you can use these things. Amber Naslin just gave a presentation about community, and you'll notice there was no plug, there was no soft sell, there was no anything except her email address happens to contain the words Radian 6. And I think that's something that people locally here need to really get on board with, because it's like you're either helping and teaching and sharing from a kind of a social mental framework, or you're in that market framework, and I don't think they're not compatible. So it's like we need to let go of the kind of desperation to serve our bottom line, serve our community, and I really think the bottom line will follow.
So what has to happen, and what seldom happens right out of the gate, but I think will come quick, is gather together, learn together, get all that knowledge together, and then go out and embed. It's not cool just to hang out with just the social people. You train, you learn, you explore, and then you embed. Christopher Barger at GM was showing me that process. He brings people into the social media team at GM, and then they go off and they do work for different teams within the organization. So they get their training, they get all their understanding, they get the sense of what it means to be in this sort of the community side of social media, not the tools, but what we're looking for in, like, say, the blogger world and the Twitter world. And then they go off and they embed. So get together, learn everything, and then embed is my big advice.